begin, if you wouldn't mind doing me the honor of smashing the living crap out of that subscribe button and the notification bell so that more of me show up in your feed, I would really appreciate it. And I would doubly, nay, triply appreciate a look over at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where the upper class goes to really taste the finer things in life that I have to offer, such as exclusive movie reviews every month, vlogs depending on your level of support, and you can even get a shout out like several do at the end of all my future videos. Those are the kings, the real creme de la creme. Welcome to Adam Does Movies Live. A little bit of a hiccup starting. I couldn't tell if I was going or not, but we're here. We're going. Everything looks okay, I hope. Let me know in the comments, and we will get started ASAP. I just want to say, if you watched that little intro Patreon thing, really making a push for it this year. So if you've been, liking my content for a while and you're thinking about supporting me, that is definitely the best place to be. Patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Right now, even signing up as a free member, you can see an exclusive video over there. I go through and review Squid Game Season 2. It's like a 10 or 11 minute video, I believe. I don't spoil Season 2, but I give you my thoughts. I give you my raw, honest thoughts in that video. That's free for everyone at any tier level. And then maybe you can kind of look around and decide, yeah, I like the $5 a month tier. I get a movie review every month. Plus, I'm supporting the channel. $10 gets you 2 movie reviews exclusively a month over there. And if you're looking for more positive content from me, almost every time these reviews are more on the positive side, or they're TV series that just don't fit well within the channel. So there you go. There's a little pitch for you. There is also a goal on Super Chat for a 30-minute Q&A after this live stream wraps up. I'll go longer if we can get 10 Super Chats in at just $2 or more. Just a little fun thing. If it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? We got 3 pieces of news to go over. This is going to be a film day, which means I'm going to cover these 3 news topics. I'm going to record them, and then I will edit them for my channel in the next few days. So there will be some mistakes. There'll be some hiccups, but you get to kind of see the process and the just brilliant way of thinking. Okay, I think that I'll just start right with the first one. I don't have anything else to say. It's Monday today. I'll start there. South Carolina. I moved here 3 years ago from Minnesota because I hate the cold weather. We might be getting snow Tuesday night into Wednesday. We might have snow touch, ice on the roads. This is not acceptable. I legitimately only moved to the South for the weather and the palm trees and the ocean that accompanies it. So I can't handle this. Yes, happy MLK Day. Thank you. Thank you, Regenerator G1. Happy MLK Day. He also called me a shill, which is just bizarre, but we'll just pretend that one didn't happen. Okay, the first topic. Okay, I gotta hit record. Gotta hit record before I laugh too much. And we're gonna be recording audio. Yeah, I think we're good. Ever since the announcement of the cancellation of arguably the greatest Star Wars show, nay, Star Wars show / movie / entertainment saga ever created, The Acolyte, was canceled after just 9 episodes in 1 season. People have been salivating at the mouth for more. They've been yearning for a sequel to the amazing saga that was The Acolyte, or as I call it, The Crapolyte. Now, sarcasm aside, no one cares about this show. It was terrible, and everybody's happy it's over, except for those that would go to sleep at night singing The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. But that was like 3 people, and they worked on the show. But for the rest of us, we're happy to bury this Star Wars franchise, and the Disney Star Wars universe in general has been kind of a shit show. Here we are, though, at the turn of the tide once again, with news of a sliver of hope hitting the skies, and that is the Acolyte returning in novel form. How novel is that? Let's talk about it for a sec. I opened Google and I searched movie news, and what came to my eyeballs was a Collider article talking about an Acolyte spin-off story. Let's read. The Acolyte, which earned strong reviews from the critics. In what topsy-turvy backwards world in hell did the critics praise the Acolyte? Let's continue. This article's already lost me. But it was canceled after 1 season. Fortunately for fans of the series, there's a typo there. It should say fan of the series. The story of its many compelling characters, the power of many, will continue in written form. Oh, various. It will continue through various novels. One of which is titled The Acolyte. Wayseeker. This is the way. Which was written by Justina Ireland and follows Vernestra Rowe. What? Vernestra Rowe. And it follows Vernestra Rowe. That's a name I don't think I remember hearing. I'm pretty sure that's the Green Lantern character. And it's going to take place before the events of the show. The first official synopsis for the Acolyte Waykeeper has been officially released. Okay. Just a critique on the writing here, Collider. The first official synopsis for the Acolyte Waykeeper has been officially released. You put officially twice in the same sentence. Not a fan. It's redundant. I don't like it. Get some better editors. Let's keep going. It's been officially released by Star Wars. Star Wars it's an entity now, not Disney, not LucasArts. Just Star Wars has released this officially. Who wrote this? And it will follow Vernestra on a journey with Jedi Knight Indara. I watched all 8 episodes of the crap. Listen, I watched all 8 episodes of the Crapolyte. Apparently, it left 0 mark because these names do not jump out at all. I'm pretty sure the green lady is Martian Manhater. I don't remember her name, though, for the life of me. I think that's Vernestra. Here's the full synop, short for synopsis. Jedi Master Vernestra Roa has spent years exploring the outer rim as a wayseeker, answering to no authority but the Force itself. When the Jedi Council orders her to return to Coruscant, Vernestra ignores the summons, feeling that her priority is the beings she is already serving. Spicy. It goes on, but I'm not going to. That's too much reading for me. Let's see what else Collider has to say about this. The cancellation of the Acolyte was particularly painstaking because it... Particularly painstaking? I'm not so sure that's how you use that word. Painstaking, done with or employing great care and thoroughness. The Acolyte was particularly painstaking because it was one of the more unique projects the franchise has delivered. I don't think that makes any sense, but I'm not an English major and I'm kind of an idiot. So let's just keep going. It's so they're saying it was a unique franchise and it delivered a long storied history. The show was the first live action Star Wars project to be set outside the confines of the Skywalker saga, taking place roughly 100 years before A Phantom Menace. Okay. Leslie Headland had plans for 3 seasons and a movie, and that show would focus more on Plagueis going forward. The Acolyte will be forever. It's so stupid. The Acolyte will forever be one of the biggest. The Acolyte will forever be one of the biggest what ifs in Star Wars history. That's something someone put down, pen to pad, in seriousness. No, the Crapolite will be just another in a long string of the greatest fuck ups in Star Wars Disney history. I don't know who the audience was for the show. It had an okay premise about a rogue Jedi assassin who was serving a mysterious master, a Sith. We don't know his whereabouts, but we know that it takes place early on. Yoda's just getting introduced at the end of the first season. May has a twin sister. I forgot her name. It doesn't matter because the show is completely off the face of the earth now. Yeah, it was just it was botched. It was poorly executed after about an episode, and it really took a nosedive by the third when the twins had this parent trap situation going on. They switched. It's so bad. They somehow convinced trained Jedi and space witches that they were different people. They're just that good. But the show is a complete disaster. I'm glad it's canceled. But for the 4 of you that were really craving for some more, you have it in novel form. And it looks like this is going to be a series. They're doubling down on a show that I believe started tanking in the ratings after a few episodes, but maybe not. Maybe I made that up. Maybe that's wishful thinking because I watched the train wreck unfold and it just kept getting worse. Let me know your thoughts though. Are you happy the power of one, the power of many is back? Like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe for more movie commentary. Sometimes I dip into the Disney TV show shit. It's all kind of related at this point. You have Star Wars TV shows, you have MCU TV shows. Here we are, just living in it, trying to sift through the muck and find a gem along the way. Please think of subscribing if you haven't. I post content all the time. I think I just redundantly said that twice, so we might have to edit that out. If I didn't, I'll just stop it where it was. And hopefully, I see you down the road. May the Force be with you. May the Force be with you. May's a character from the Crapolite. All right, let's go. Only a 9-minute video, guys. That means that's gonna edit down to like, probably like 5 minutes. Not a very long video, but that's okay. There wasn't a lot to talk about here. I could just wax poetic for a while about Star Wars, or just get into the depths of shit that was the TV shows they've released, like Mandalorian Season 3 and whatnot, but we'll stop it there. Oh, I kind of like that somehow the Acolyte returned. You know, it might be kind of fun for people to leave some fun little comments, like little puns or jokes or references, and I can steal them and use them in the final video and not give you credit, and then pretend like I'm the one that's clever and came up with this stuff. No. No, I won't do that, but I like the ideas. Maybe in the next video I will. Okay, let's move on to phase 2. Should we do the Wolfman Nosferatu box office first, or should we do the Rachel Zegler Snow White casting? Which this video might not go the way you want. I might be going a different direction with it. Oh, you know what we should do for the Acolyte? I should put in the strong female leads. It's just it has to be done. Apparently, Star Wars fans weren't ready for strong female leads. And for a sci-fi saga featuring lesbian witches, it's about time. Right. I should do the strong female leads in what's Jar Jar Binks' race? He's a Gungan, right? Strong female leads. I hate that guy. All right, let's get to this. He's made like 10.5 million domestically. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wolfman is in fucked up right out of the gates. Wolfman is in theaters. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's celebrating this film. It's a huge hit. It's a massive success. I think Blumhouse is going to greenlight. I think Blumhouse is going to greenlight. I think Grumhouse. I think Blumhouse is going to greenlight at least 4 more Wolfman movies. 2 Wolf, 2 Furious, 2 Wolf, 2 Man, Wolfman, Tokyo Drift, the whole thing. Then it'll just be called Man or Wolf. No, in all seriousness, it's not doing very well right out of the gates. A paltry 10 million domestically and another 4 or so, 4.5 mil, and another 4.5 or so paltry, and a paltry 4.5 million overseas. This is not good. And listen, the budget for Wolfie was 25 million. So it's getting close to that, but we all know you got to make double the budget, and your first weekend is the big one. Now, I don't question Blumhouse at this point. They shit out gold every time, and by shit out gold, I mean their movies kind of are crap, but they're making lots of money off of them because they're done on the cheap. That said, I think they were expecting, I said nay on the last video. That's okay. I think they were expecting, I know they were expecting a much bigger return on investment out of the gates. This is underperforming at the box office, and we do what we do here, which is speculate. Let's talk about why Wolfman underperformed and why Nosferatu is absolutely dominating the box office. The answer may surprise you. Subscribe. I don't think I said, I don't think I did the early subscribe for the Crapolite. Should I do one for it, or should I just well, we need to pad that one out. So yeah, I will. If you're a fan of the power of 1, but you know that the power of 2 is just as strong, make sure to bust out that lightsaber and slice down on the subscribe. I would appreciate it. Maybe also use the force and that's the force sound. Get the notification bell so future videos show up in your feed. Okay, now on Wolfman. If you find yourself liking this video, if you find yourself liking the commentary, make sure to If you find yourself enjoying the commentary, wait for a full moon, transform into a wolf, unless you're the new wolf man, and then slash down in that subscribe so these videos keep popping up in your feed. Make doubly sure by taking a bite right out of that notification bell. Okay. Oh God, I'm still on the Acolyte, guys. I got to change the banner. Nobody's reminding me. There we go. Jeez. Woof. Woof. Wait, what's Nosferatu's box office? That thing's making bank right now. Nosferatu surpasses another highest grossing horror film. What is it at? Nosferatu's box office performance stands out. Notoriously crowded marketplace. Film's steady earnings have demonstrated global appeal with international charts leading the blah, 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 blah. 155 mil so far. When was this posted? 1 day ago? You know, I saw Wolfman. Not to brag, but I saw Wolfman. Yeah. I went out to the theaters and saw the movie. I'm special. I'm better than most. I went out and paid for a ticket to watch a movie. It makes me better than people. Anyway, I thought it was not great. I didn't think it was terrible either. I know people that thought it was awful. I know people that loved it. I'm right there around a C minus kind of a situation, watchable, some really bad things to harp on, which I will be doing in a spoiler-free video in probably just a day or two. I have to get that, I have to edit that Peter Pan Twisted Nightmare Neverland Adventure thing that came out for a couple days, and I think it has a wider release at the end of February. Maybe I hold off on releasing that until then. It's just so hard to know. Peter Pan, Nightmare childhood thing is celebrated across the globe, so maybe I put it out tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see what I do. Anyway, Wolfman, anyway, not to beat around the crotch, the reason Wolfman is not having the appeal that Nosferatu does is simple. You're not pulling in the ladies. Now, this might be a secret to some of you guys out there, but women are naughty. Women are nasty. They like some pretty freaky shit. You think Beauty and the Beast is Do you think Beauty and the Beast is popular because of the love story? No. They think the Beast is hot. That's just a fact. It's a cold, hard fact. Why do you think the Twilight Saga does so damn well with the teen girls and soccer moms? Why do you think 50 Shades of Grey topped the freaking charts for a while in book sales? Moms are spicy. Moms want to be taken away to a magical place. And that's the exact same reason why that goddamn awful ACOTAR series is flourishing. And here we have movies like Nosferatu coming out. You got a vampire. He's mysterious. You have a young woman who's of questionable. I don't know what to say. You have a young woman who's quivering in her bonnet every time she sees or hears his deep, sultry, slow-ass voice being pronounced. And women scroll TikTok and they see it trending. Ooh, there's some naughty, nasty scenes taking place in this film. Possible necrophilia. Ooh, sign me up. I'm gonna make the hubby drag me out to this one. Wolfman doesn't have that. In fact, it has the opposite. You have a nasty ass naked dude who looks homeless. He's barely a wolf at all. You bring him more like a beast, and then maybe you bring the girls to the playground. But no, this guy just looks unshaven, unkempt. You have the female actress who's basically, you have the actress who looks like she's 15 still, popularized from Ozark. Who are you bringing out for this? Who are you driving out to this? So all you have are the weirdo ass, horror fanatics that like the makeup and the gore and the gross transformation, these fucking weirdo basement dwellers like me that want to go see some cool ass stuff. We're not the majority though. You want to bring in mass appeal like Nosferatu, which has now made around $155 million. You gotta appeal to a broader range of folks. And no, the critics have not been too kind to Wolfman. Last I checked, it was teetering on fresh and rotten, which is about where it belongs. That's where I would say. Not quite great, or not quite good, not quite terrible. It's just kind of there existing in the middle. But even if the movie was dog-ass bad, if it had a hot or questionably bizarre sexual tie to it, you're going to see a return on that investment. You're going to see that number skyrocket. 50 Shades of Grey is not a celebrated critical achievement in film. You think those Twilight movies are getting high marks? No. Let's stop pretending like the critic score means dick, because it doesn't. The only time it probably ever moves the needle, and I'm talking about a small percentage of folks here, is if Sony, who has released the Sony Spider-Man Cinematic Universe that doesn't have Spider-Man in it films, manages to get a fresh on Morbi shit or Pepsi Web or Let There Be Craven, then maybe you pique the interest of a couple folks. Like, oh, I assume this was going to be another Sony Spider-Man Cinematic Universe film that doesn't have Spider-Man in it, but they're saying this one's good. I might now check it out because I respect this person's opinion. But for the most part, people don't care about the critics. It's just a way for studios to pat themselves on the back and give themselves a little bit of promo art for the poster. Remember when they made posters and they didn't just, remember when they hired people to paint posters or do these really wonderful designs? That was fun back in the day too. Everything we like is gone. Everything we used to celebrate is dead. I saw an article. I saw an article by Film. Is it Film? I saw an article by Flash. I saw an article by Slash Film breaking down the 5 reasons why Wolfman was a big box office disappointment. I gave you the reason. You didn't give the ladies what they needed. That's it. Let's see what bullshit they come up with. The reviews for Wolfman were far from good. Doesn't matter. I'd throw that one out. That's a dumb reason. The creature design was more of an issue than an asset. Yeah, I agree with that one. If you made a hot werewolf, you increase the odds of people going to it. You get Jacob in there. Remember Jacob from Twilight? If he's popping the tea running around, you're going to have a different scenario. There were other movies to choose from. What other movies were there to choose? What? One of the biggest surprises of the weekend was Sony's One of Them Days. It's just one of them days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain leaves with a blood stain. Yeah! This time I'm gonna let it all go. Sorry, I get Durst in the mind whenever I see something like that. The NFL playoffs might have been more appealing. Who's writing articles anymore? These are ridiculous. Number 5, Blumhouse has been on a bit of a cold streak. That doesn't mean dick. Your average moviegoer doesn't know Blumhouse from Disney. They don't know. They just don't know. They have no clue that the people that made Wolfman are the people that made Afraid, are the people that made Imagine, that are the people that made Night Swim. This is a stupid article and you should be ashamed of yourself, Slash Film. It doesn't even have the number 1 reason on there. It didn't appeal to the horny women. That's all Wolfman needed to accomplish. And it dropped the ball. Now, it's not the only thing that could have drawn in an audience. Had it been an amazing movie, then sure, yeah, you're going to pull in more fans. Had it had some really controversial moments, maybe it would have got trending on TikTok. But this movie was more of a psychological play on a father-son relationship and how the sins of the father fall on the sins of the son, and you can't change who you are, and blah 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 blah. There's a lot of that. Okay, this was a more it was an attempt at a nuanced story that was bashed over your head super obviously, masquerading as a werewolf picture, which it's not. And that's a huge problem. Okay, I'm giving it two problems why it failed at the box office. One, it wasn't a werewolf movie. And two, I told you the other one. Okay, those are my thoughts. Nosferatu, listen, Nosferatu pulls in a lot of people. Let me back up. Again, Nosferatu succeeds because not only does it bring in the female audience that's hungry for some lovin', and the males, there's males that like that too. Also, it's by a critically acclaimed director who's done a bunch of art house stuff, some of which I absolutely love, some of it a little bit sketchier, but he is a name. He's champagne cinema. And even though I didn't like Nosferatu, I found it to be a boring chore to sit through. I know people that loved it. Not real people, people online, fake people. Those are not real people that I've talked to. But I know people that love the film. And so, yeah, word of mouth in this case just enhances it further. It looks gorgeous. Okay, so this is a type of movie you want to experience on the big screen. It has big screen appeal. Someone made a comment. I have to. Someone in the comments like a week or so back said, Nosferatu made a bunch of money at him. And like dropped the mic. Like that meant something to me. Like, oh, okay. All right, good, cool. I'm glad it's doing well. I support movies doing well so we can get more of them. And then he comments back, you didn't like the movie. Now what? Well, okay. I mean, it doesn't hurt me financially. I don't think it hurts my credibility if a movie does well and I don't like it. There's lots of movies that do very well that I think are bad. And I think majority of people think are bad. Transformers made like 5 or 6 movies. And after the first one, kind of notoriously known as stupid crap. But they did very well for themselves. The Fast and the Furious movies speak for themselves. The 50 Shades did well. Again, Twilight. I mean, I've listed off some of the greatest hits. These are movies that underperform for critics, but overperform for audiences. Okay, let's leave it there. I'm happy for Nosferatu. I'm kind of sad for Wolfman, but also, I mean, it is what it is. It feels like it's earned, I guess, disappointment. It's earned, and it probably will in the long run make money. These sites and stuff try to drum up a lot of drama by saying the movie's a failure. I mean, it's been out for a few days. This is probably going to make back its money. It's not doing terrible numbers. It's just underperforming. But we'll find out. All right, let me know your thoughts on this. Please like the video. And again, I encourage you to subscribe if you like the commentary, if you like movie reviews, live streams. I actually film this live in front of an audience, and then I edit the crap out of it, get rid of all the terrible mistakes I make, tripping on my words and whatnot. Love to have you for one of those as well. All right, hopefully I see you next time. Take care. Should have got some water. I have a 2/3 drank Sprite here. Hey, we got a couple super chats, and that's nice. Let's get to some supers. Tony Movie, Jesus Christ. It's a long name. Tony Movie, Chappie, D9, Neil Blomkamp fan, 199. Thank you, Tony Movie, Chappie, D9, Neil Blomkamp fan. Are your kids allowed to watch R-rated movies? Yeah, my kids aren't, they don't feel like kids anymore. I mean, Connor's 12. He's definitely on the younger side. Olivia is 15, almost 16. They've seen a lot of R movies. Connor watched Logan when he was arguably way too young. I think he was 9, maybe 8. But yeah, they watch R-rated movies. I just watched let me get the background out for a second. I just watched Seven with Olivia. Connor hasn't seen that one yet. And what else did we just watch? Oh, The Batman. I guess that's PG-13. It feels R because it's a ripoff of Seven. We are going to watch The Revenant coming up here. It would be perfect actually for maybe tomorrow night or Wednesday because we're supposed to get snow in South Carolina. Sorry for the outburst. No, they've seen a good amount of R-rated movies already. Thanks for the question and the support. I should probably have my readers on for these things. It's getting hard to see. I can zoom in. I can enhance on my side of things. Watson D for $10. Shot out of a cannon, $10 super chat. Adam, the name of the game is Super Chats, but the name of my game is to see you cross the 100K subscribers line. Keep up the great work. That's right. The name of the game is Super Chats. It's how we keep the lights on here and keep doing these live streams. Fun fact. It's not so much fun, but it is a fact. Oh, wait. Why have my banner? Let me get rid of this banner. I don't like that it's hiding back there. These live streams, on average, according to YouTube according to the YouTube analytics, always lose me 1 or 2 subs. Like it'll straight up say -1 subscriber or -2 subscribers on the live stream videos. That's bizarre to me. You know, on average, a new video review, as long as I'm not like being too out there, outrageous and offending someone, will gain me, maybe a dozen subscribers, a plus. But the live streams actually harm the channel. So yeah, super chats are actually welcome because if I don't get those, what am I doing here at the end of the day? Okay, thank you for that. We got Michael for $4.99, a beautiful super chat. Some people say it's the best super chat. Will you talk about the new ambassadors for Hollywood on your next live update? And I can assure you, it's about time. Yeah. You know what? I was actually upstairs chatting with my wife about this whole ambassador thing, and I was laughing to myself about how fun it would be to talk about it, but there's a sad reality on YouTube, and that is whenever you say anything that's remotely political or talk about anything that has to do with politics, even if it's movie related and could be affecting movies in the future, it's not a good idea for me because I've prided myself on not doing political commentary. And again, even when I sniff it a little bit or make a jab here or there, it's like an instant knee kick to the face from people that either support one party or the other. They're just pissed at me, and it's not worth it. That said, Michael, since I am really pushing Patreon hard this year, I could see making that a exclusive Patreon review. And maybe I release it for free on Patreon. Maybe look for that as a exclusive over there. Again, sign up. It is free. And I do release now 1 monthly free video on top of the exclusive reviews monthly at $5 and $10. Just a little elevator pitch because I do want to talk about that, but I also don't want to hurt my channel. And as you stated, or I'm sorry, as Watson D stated so eloquently, 100,000 subs is the name of the game here. And I don't want to tarnish that. And I don't want to offend people when I promised I wouldn't. Trigger, what is this? Triggertron, double XL for $2. I got here late. You got here just in time. We have one more topic to go over. What's in the box? Sorry, I saw someone in the comments say that. Not worth it. Don't do it. Get over 500,000 first. Yeah, I said classic vibes. I said I'll do it on Patreon. That's where people come that like me no matter what. Okay, let's get to the final news story. Now, this one arguably could lose me some subscribers just because I'm not going to be as mean as everyone else. Let's get to it. It's a slow it's a slow news week. We're in January after all. The cesspool of bad movies has been released upon us. So I took to the internet to see what kind of spicy stories I can find, and of course jumped to the top of mind, which is anything to do with Rachel Zegler and Snow White. A treasure trove of views awaits me just talking about this individual and that movie that surely will be a touchstone classic. It turns out that not only are people upset with Rachel taking on the role, they've taken it upon themselves to show up at her place of solid. They've taken it upon themselves to storm her place of solitude and boo her to her windows. Let's talk about it. America's it girl, Rachel Zegler, and by it girl, I mean girl to shit all over online, has faced a lot of pushback because Disney, in their infinite wisdom, has decided to reboot all of their animated classics as live action abominations and then do some stunt casting along the way to give themselves pats on the back, rile up some controversy online, and watch the people smash each other's brains in for no reason. Well, the newest star served on a silver platter, yes, I can't pronounce silver platter, is Rachel Zegler. You may remember her from such failed movies as literally everything she's been in. Now, it's been a tough go for her, although I think that Hunger Games prequel made money, and to her credit, she was perfectly fine in it. She was also in a remake of, what was that fucking Steven Spielberg movie that nobody saw? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As easy as it would be. How old is Rachel Zegler? Like 12? Rachel Zegler age. As easy as it would be to shit on a 23-year-old and some of her silly statements over the last couple of years, it's also a little bit more mature to realize she's 23 and she's in a Hollywood bubble and she thinks that she knows everything already. I remember being young once and thinking I know everything. Now I'm old and think I know everything. Instead of that, though, I'm going to take a more instead of that, though, I'm going to use this as an opportunity, a jumping off point, a springboard, if you will, to talk about some of the ways we all handle the situation over at Disney. And for me, it's twofold. Number one, you are perfectly within your right, and you should voice your opinions on the internet and to people right to their face. I remember when a kid came up to me, tears in his eyes, said, Sir, have you seen the news? They're making a new Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and they cast a brown girl to play a white girl. And I look at the child and I throw a couple rocks at him that I keep in my pocket because I don't want kids coming up to me and crying. I don't want anyone coming up to me just ever. I don't like people. But then I say to him, listen, little dumb kid, it is stupid, but it is what it is. And so, yes, voice your opinion that if Disney wants to cast a live action version of their classic animated film and make everything one-to-one except for the lead actress just to piss people off, that's kind of a dumb thing to do. And Rachel would come out and say later that there's a lot of racism in this world. And so they're going to double down on that. They're going to call people racist. They're going to call people ignorant. And I do think that it's stupid. I think it's stupid. I think it's silly and it's misinformed. Because yes, there are obviously people that are racist in the world. Okay, it's not gone completely. There's people that are homophobes. There's people that are anti this, anti that. That's the way things are. But to say that the general populace is against this casting or Halle Bailey's casting as the Little Mermaid because they're racist is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. The reason why there's pushback is because you're making a movie off your classic animated film and the characters you chose don't look like the classics. Snow White's character is white as fuck. End of story. That's it. They wanted someone that's white as fuck because that's her actual character definition. It's really not that deep. Okay, people are genuinely pretty stupid and straightforward with things, and I guess I have to be just blunt about it, which might be bad, but it is. That's the truth. Do I care that Rachel Zegler is Snow White? No, because I don't care about this movie. I care about the fact that Disney is remaking their classics and they're worse every time, and it's just to hold on to their trademarks or to make some easy money. That's what pisses me off. I don't care if they cast Shaquille O'Neal with a wig on as Snow White. I think it's Snow wrong regardless. That said, there can be a very strong argument for doing the flip side of it. Do you think for a second that if a do you think for a second that if a Princess and the Frog movie comes out, Tiana's going to be played by some skinny ass white bitch? No, not a chance in hell that's going to happen. The Black Panther one is always used as well. You know, you get Baby Goose playing Black Panther, T'Challa. Not, it's just silly. It's nonsense. And they'll say, well, those make sense to be people of color, black folks, because that's what the story revolves around. Well, again, Snow White revolves around this pure snow white skin. And they've changed it for the script. They changed it for this movie to address the fact that Rachel is going to be the character. This is just like a side tangent to a story I really want to get into, though. And that is the way. Actually, let me change that. That was a long number one. I believe I had a two-part plan here to this little rant I'm going to go on. The second one, the more important one, is don't harass people. Don't go to their homes and boo them. People will, of course, push back and say, it didn't happen. She's lying. Listen, I've seen articles, I've seen things with my eyeballs that have shown me otherwise. People have no problems storming up to houses or other places and speaking their mind. All right, we've seen tons of this stuff over the years. There's a lot of bad, dumb assholes out there that want to get something off their chest because their own lives are so pathetically miserable. They have to take it out on, once again, a 23-year-old. She's young, people. She's going to say dumb things. I do feel bad for Rachel Zegler. I know it's not something a 40-year-old dude I know it's not something a 40-year-old white dude should say on the internet because that goes against the grain of the white man society over here. But it's true. I look at her and I think she's got a lot of life. She's going to make mistakes. Do I think she's the greatest actress? Not really, but I don't think she's terrible either. I just think it's Disney's fault for like setting her up to fail, setting her up in front of the angry mob with pitchforks, decrying they want a whiter Snow White. They want something that reminds them of the animated classic more. And that's all it comes down to. As simple as that. But for my second point, you got to be better. This isn't the first instance. I remember dedicated hundreds of videos shitting on Brie Larson. And mark my words, folks, just me slightly defending these ladies on the internet is going to get me a shit ton of hate. And this might just be a live exclusive at this point because I feel like I'm going down a dangerous path. The last time I defended Brie Larson in any way, I lost hundreds of subscribers because people are so weak and frail that they can't just listen to someone else's viewpoint for a second. It's kind of pathetic, but that's where we're at. I don't understand. I can't get my head wrapped around some people's thoughts. Do you remember when Game of Thrones was popular before it ruined itself, before it ate itself in the last season or two? There was a character named Joffrey. He was this douchey teenage boy who took hold of the throne for the Lannisters, and he was just an abusive, psychopathic, bratty little spoiled kid. The actor in real life was getting booed and heckled and hate spewed at him because of the character he played in a show. That's how stupid people are. they can't separate the two. They can't let people live their private lives. They have to follow them around with cameras 24/7. They have to look at gossip columns and read up on them and make fun of them constantly and go to their homes apparently and go to their socials and harass them there and just it's just ridiculous. Rose Tico, remember Rose Tico? Just an absolute shit character in Star Wars, The Last Jedi, the last bastion of hope for a Star Wars movie to be good. She got a ton of hate online. She had to quit her socials. I felt bad for her. Poorly written character, not the actress's fault. She seemed like a perfectly pleasant person. I'm sure she pushed back and said a couple things that maybe rubbed people the wrong way. She's entitled to do that. That's her prerogative. Bobby Brown. I'm going to bring that up. That's a good point. I'm going to bring that up and not give you credit for it, Phil. Speaking of Star Wars, this isn't like a new thing. Jake Lloyd and the dude that played Jar Jar Binks, I apologize, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but yeah, they were getting tons of shit all over the place. Jake Lloyd became depressed. He had to quit acting. It was like a whole thing with him. I think it's Ahmed Best or something. It's just a shame that we can't it's just a shame that we can't have like civil discourse or just have fun, I guess, without having to go to the source and attacking the actors straight up to their face. It's pathetic, and that's sadly where we're at. So yes, the casting for Snow White, the casting for the Little Mermaid, it's kind of dumb. It's stunt casting. I'm sorry, it just is. They want to make a Black Little Mermaid. No one would care if they made it its own unique story. It could still actually be called The Little Mermaid if it had new music and it had a new story. But because they go 95% original, using the same music, the same storyboards, the same plot points, and then they completely change the look of the main lead, yeah, that's annoying and foolish. And that's why people get annoyed by it, because it doesn't work both ways. And it shouldn't. It should just be what's like the best character that looks closest to what you remember. I am old enough to remember when Wolverine came out in the X-Men movies and people were pissed that not only was Hugh Jackman too tall by like a foot and a half or something, but he also wasn't wearing the yellow spandex. They were all in this black leather stuff. They were mad. They didn't want Hugh Jackman to be in the movie. They got pissed off. I don't think Hugh Jackman was getting death threats, though. I don't think people showed upside Logan's house and were throwing stones. And granted, this is a much older film, X-Men. They didn't have the internet like they have today. They didn't have these social profiles where you could make videos and just go right to the source of the problem. Maybe that would have happened. Who knows? But regardless, it's not cool. And so I guess I'll leave it there. It's just sad to me. That's all. And I like to have fun. I like to poke fun at characters in movies, actors that do bad in a film. But I would never encourage people to just outright be hateful assholes and stalk them and make like five and make like 50 videos on how much an individual is terrible. But that's where we're at in this day and age, and I guess that's probably not going to change anytime soon. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments below. Please think about liking and subscribing to the channel. If you like this video a lot, maybe leave a super thanks underneath of it and get someone to subscribe to the channel to kind of offset the ones I'm definitely going to lose just for making this video. I would appreciate it. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. It needed to be said. I'm really annoyed at this shit. Bishop Walter says Rachel loves playing the victim. Typical liberal. Yeah, Bishop, that's not really the answer. It's not really the appropriate response either. She might like playing the victim. I don't know. I don't know Rachel personally. And she probably says stupid stuff. Again, she's 23. That's brain's really not that much. Her brain, I don't think, is fully developed yet. She hasn't hit that fully matured brain status yet or whatever. And also, that's not an excuse for the amount of hate that she gets thrown. This is a good point. I like Screaming Ice Cream. If all your subscribers got just one other person to subscribe, you would have a lot. That's true. I would. I would double my subscriber count, which would be awesome. Yeah, 23 is an adult, Bishop. So go ahead and head on over to her place and tell her she sucks some more. Brain development in men and women stops around the mid to late 20s. That's science. She's extremely rich and she lives in an apartment. It's probably not her main place. She probably has several flats, I would imagine. Celebrities have places kind of all over. That's why when the fires hit California, a lot of them were like Mel Gibson was like, yeah, it's probably burned to the ground. I'm sure Gibson has like 8 different places he can go. Any more super chats come in? $5 one from Maestro Mac. Beautiful $5. James Bond fans are so impatient about when the next 007 film will go into production. If you ask me, I think it's time to call it a day. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the James Bond spaces, so I don't know. I've never been like a massive James Bond guy. I've seen a good amount of them. I'm just not like I like Mission Impossible more, I guess. I think it helps when you have a character that is kind of consistently staying with the franchise, like Tom Cruise, 8 movies in now. Whereas Bond seems to change every 3 or 4 movies, so you kind of have to start over fresh. That can keep it fresh though and fun. So it's like good and bad at the same time. Well, we did not hit the milestone goal. I was going to stick around for about 30 minutes to do a Q&A if we made 10 super chats at just $2 and up. And I think we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got half, which is sad. It's just disappointing. Relax, Adam. I'm not going to her place, but 23 is old enough to use common sense. She isn't a kid or even a teen. You're still going about this? Oh my god. It's weird how much people kind of hate, you know, like actresses. Like in a serious way. I don't understand. Like, who gives a shit about who truly cares about Rachel Zegler? Why are people wasting even a fraction of a second thinking about her in any sort of serious capacity? She's just an actress who's in a bunch of movies that most of the guys that are mad at her wouldn't watch. That's the weird part. Okay, I'm gonna hang for a couple more minutes and then I'm going to call it a day. It's almost 10:30 here, and I have several videos to edit. Oh, I can stop this. We're done with this. Stop that. Stop this. File, save, live stream, January. Is this your first live chat, Adam? This isn't really a live chat. This was a live taping I'm actually about to sign off. I did have a goal. If I got 10 supers, I would stay on and do a live chat for 30 minutes, but everybody's poor. So probably not going to happen, including myself, believe it or not. It's tough out here for everybody. I have two jobs. Fun fact. I think most people know that by now, but I do have two jobs. I have a full-time job as a web developer and designer, and then I have my YouTube channel job, which, believe it or not, doesn't make as much money as one would think, even when you're getting close to 100,000 subscribers. So I do have some things lined up, but nothing seems to be quite hitting yet as far as ad reads go. Hopefully, within the next week or so, something takes shape. But for now, yeah, I'm just hustling like every single person probably in this live stream. Yeah, exactly. I think we all have a side hustle nowadays. That's just how it is. And we're going to go ahead and ban Bishop. Bishop is gone. Thanks for stopping by, dumbass. If people are name calling each other in the comments like they're five, they're going to get banned. You know, we're all adults here. It doesn't need to get so nasty. Okay, we got one more. Gaming with Glees for $2. I enjoy your sense of humor. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Gaming with Glees. Appreciate that. What was I gonna say? My son Connor, we we have we have PlayStation Plus, so we get the free games every month, and this month was Suicide Squad, the video game, which is notoriously pretty terrible. Oh, Bubba asking if he's. I'm sorry, Bubba. I already banned him, but if you can ban him again, that'd be fine. Yeah, I should have. I didn't see her. I didn't see you ask before. I apologize. But anyway, Connor started playing it. I couldn't even get past the tutorial. I thought it was terrible. But Connor comes up to me, my son. He's 12. He's like, Dad, you need to play the Suicide Squad. It's amazing. I think it's better than Spider-Man on the PlayStation. And obviously, I'm not gonna shit on his opinion because he's 12. So I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely give it a shot. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll try. And so he's pretty deep into it now. He's like 50% through the game, just absolutely loving the Suicide Squad or Kill the Suicide Squad, whatever it's called. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. And so now I've actually forced myself to start playing it a little bit just so that I can have that little bit of bonding conversation with Connor. I appreciate that, Bubba. Thank you. Okay, last thing I will say is Connor also has been getting really into chess. Keep in mind, he's 12. And he yesterday beat me 5 games to 0. Today, I beat him 3 games to 0 because I had to get some sort of self respect back, which was clearly taken from me. But he's freaking good at the game. I'm just not very. What's the brain that's the thinking side? That's the one I don't have. I'm more the creative side of the brain. He's very much more analytical than I am, and so yeah, he kicked my ass pretty hard at chess. Also, I noticed as I've been playing more of it with him, you really have to have a clear mind when you're playing the game, and if you have anything up there that's scrambling, fogging you a little bit, holy crap. Yesterday I played and I was like stupid playing it. And today when I was playing him, I was like clear. I was seeing patterns. I was seeing openings. I was confidently like blocking where I needed to. I'm digging chess. It's pretty awesome. So I'm glad he's got that hobby. He's in like a chess group. And when we move back to Minnesota in like 5 months, I'd like to get him in like a club or something. I think he would like that a lot. But no, he kicks my ass. Robert says this is a super chat. Thank you, Robert. You know what? I'm feeling generous. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you want to keep them coming, that would be awesome. But I'll stick around and I'll just chat with you guys for a little while, regardless of hitting the milestone. It's 10:35. We'll do like 15 minutes. We can chat a little bit. Let's see if there's anything worth reading. So feel free to ask any questions. You should wear a bald cap when you review Flight Risk. Oh my God, if I owned one, I would. So people told me that he actually shaved his head for the movie and that wasn't a bald cap. I don't believe them. I refuse to believe that that is his actual shaved bald head on the side or on the top. Maybe he shaved a little bit of it, but there's no way. That looks so fake. Either that or he has a rubber head. You're moving back to Minnesota. Is that where you moved from? And the house didn't work out at all, Kevin asked. Yes, I am. We are planning to move back to Minnesota. We don't like South Carolina. Everybody moved here. It seemed like after COVID, including us, we thought we were smart going to a state that was supposedly cheaper and it had beautiful weather. Well, the traffic's terrible. Everybody moved here. The houses are made like complete ass. There's no regulation, so things are just breaking all the time. So we sold our house. We're living in a rental house for a year, and that's up in 5 months, at which point we can get out of Dodge and move into something that we'll never be able to afford because the housing prices are astronomical. We're in good shape all around. Greetings from Argentina, Adam. Thank you. I appreciate that. Soledad? Is that how you say it? Soledad? Yeah. That's how I say it. Eddie Henderson, simping for Bishop. Eddie, 1,000 apologizes. I apologize to Bishop, okay? I saw him saying some names in the chat. He was being kind of hostile to people. I don't need it, okay? I'm a grown-ass 42-year-old man. I don't need to be fighting with people in the comments. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But, like, what's it do at the end of the day? Is this a new super chat? We get new super chats? Am I seeing this right? Watson, $2. I say my username as 2 words. Watso MD. Watso MD. Are you a medical doctor? Am I missing a connection here? Okay, Watso. I'll call you Watso. I appreciate that. Thank you for the clarification. You can't have it both ways. Actually, I can. Because it's my channel. And if someone's being an ass, I get rid of them. I had it both ways. This is Burger King on Adam Does Movies. I have it my way. Some guys, so here's my new thing on the channel. If I see comments on my videos that are just straight up bashing on other people, or they're bashing on me in a non-productive way, just calling me an asshat or like, you know, a dipshit or something, I don't need you on my channel. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine. Do that. I don't care about that. But I have limits now. Again, I'm in my 40s. I don't need to listen to the garbage, okay? It gets to you. And as the channel grows and gets larger, there's going to be more haters that come in, and I can just kick their asses out. It's as simple as that. Free speech only takes you so far. And if you don't like it, then leave. But you're more than welcome to stay. Just like stay civil, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. But anyway, my point was last week or a week or so ago, 3 or 4 people dedicated an entire Saturday afternoon, 5 hours, maybe it was 6 hours, to just shitting on me. For 5 or 6 hours straight, they spent a Saturday doing that. And the only reason I know is because they tagged me on their YouTube channel like 3 different days in a row, and they tweeted at me, and I ignored all of it because I don't want to hear it. Like, okay, go be off in your corner, wasting your day talking about some nobody on YouTube that didn't like a movie you did. That's just miserable to me. But they can have their little fun over there. But then they came on the channel and they started saying crap in my comments. So I said, fuck off. You want to crap on me for 6 hours over there? That's fine, but don't bring it onto my channel to my face. Let me have my ignorance over here. Let me have my my comfort bubble. Because you'll see, you've read the articles. People that are on social media, they get depressed as they get bigger. And so I'm trying to protect myself from that. I got kids to raise. Uh, Trigatron, this is all I have left in my Google Play account. $2. Well, don't go broke because of me. I appreciate it though. Thank you very much. You're being a prick, but okay. Okay, Eddie. You're still here, aren't you? Adam, did you catch Skeleton Crew thoughts? I didn't see any videos on it. No, I did not watch it. I honestly am just kind of sick of Star Wars stuff, and my priority is movies mostly. I covered Penguin for a couple episodes. People didn't seem interested in watching me review that, so I bailed on that as well. Even though I did finish the season, I thought it was damn good. Damn good. I should probably put that on Patreon as a exclusive review as well, just to get my, just get my thoughts out on it. And that's the same with Squid Game season 2. I just posted that to Patreon for free. You can check it out. Yeah, I'm doing less TV stuff, and I don't have the time to dedicate to all the different things that I want to cover. However, I'm not Deadpool. Daredevil season 4 or whatever this rebirth thing is called. I will probably try to catch that and cover that episode to episode, because I think that one would do well, not just for the channel, but I think it'll be fun to watch. Guy with the with a powerful question. Do you think we should fit tiny diapers on birds to keep them from pooping on our cars? It's a bold question, it's a bold idea, but I think that just the sheer manpower it would take, the capital we would have to invest to dedicate to getting every bird diapered would be an impossibility. There's no way, guy. I think that's a foolish use of our money. I think tarping up areas would be the smarter bet to keep the birds away, or maybe some sort of an anti-bird agent. I don't know what the opposite of is a pheromone, but something that would be like an anti-pheromone agent that would keep birds away. That would probably be the better way to do it than diapering every bird in existence. I like Scream and Ice Cream. Wolfman was an absolute masterpiece, or at least I'm sure it would be if I saw anything. Yeah, it's a dark film. I say that a few times, I believe. I make a few jokes in my spoiler video. Hopefully, I'll have that out. I should probably edit that one first and then Peter Pan after, because like Peter Pan isn't even out wide release yet. We're still going, Eddie. Adam, he wasn't calling you names, just so you know. Movies and film went off on him first. I'm not here to like babysit. I saw a couple comments come through from Bishop where he said some not so nice, not so kind things I used to say back in the day when I played Halo 3 online to idiots. And yeah, I don't need to see it in the comments. Whoever started it first, he said, she said, he's the one that got caught in the crossfire. Kind of like the song, You'll Get Caught in the Crossfire. That's a timely reference from a commercial for a game where you shot little marbles out, little pellets. It's called Crossfire. Look it up. Oh, Modest Mike. Oh, I disagree with Adam on some of his movie reviews. Bubba, can we ban Modest Mike for disagreeing with me? Just ban him right now. No, I'm joking. Yeah, Modest Mike. I would honestly hope maybe I should make that would be a fun video. I should make a video about how I encourage people to disagree with me on my opinions because what the hell? Why would who in the right mind would agree with someone 100% of the time on anything? I have buddies, I have my best friends and I disagree with movies. All the time we disagree. We saw what was the last one a bunch of us saw together before I moved? The Green Knight. I thought was terrible A24 artsy bullshit. One of my other buddies really liked it. Another one agreed with me. Another one was kind of on the fence in the middle. You got to have your own opinions. And I always encourage people to watch movies and make up their own mind and then form some, actual thoughts in the comments other than saying you're a dipshit, you just like cape crap, you don't have critical thinking skills. Like these aren't real serious arguments and this isn't a fun conversation to have. And my channel was made off of debating. I had a co-host back in the day, Corey. I still remember Corey. Never forget. Our first 2 years on the channel were together and we debated movies and it was fun and we hung out afterwards and we were good friends. But now, we've grown apart because he took a different job. I moved to a different state. It's just, it is what it is. But yeah, it's good to disagree. And I think that would be a fun video to make. I haven't seen any other critics make a video like that where they encourage, disagreement. That's how we learn from each other and we see different perspectives and we make our voices heard in a good way. Classic Vibes gets it. I do too, Modest Mike, but that's what makes talking movies fun. I got to show this one because it's a compliment to me and I will always take a compliment. You do not look 40 at all. Thank you. If he follows up with you look 50, then I'm going to be sad. Guy says, "Hey, congrats! You are getting close to 100,000 subscribers. I know it's right there. It's right there. But as close as it seems like I'm getting, that last 7,000 or last 6,600. Who's counting, right? It's gonna take a while. That's not just around the corner. In actuality, that's months and months away, unless something blows up." Unless I can get like another Matrix 4 type of situation or another This Is Me ... now for whatever reason that review did really well. I hear that Canadian Minnesota accent coming out. Go to town, Adam. Yeah, Minnesota. You can't say Minnesota without giving away the hand. It's just such a Minnesotan word because the O. Oh, Modest Mike again. Adam didn't like Nosferatu just because he was impatient. He can't wait and he's too old for YouTube. Get off. That's all fair and all honest, Mike. I appreciate your well thought out criticisms as to why I did not like Nosferatu. You know what else is a really slow moving film that I absolutely adore? And on first viewing, thought it was all right. But on second viewing and then on third viewing, I absolutely adore Zodiac. It's a David Fincher film. It's got to be well over 2 hours. It's actually an awesome movie. It's one of my favorites of his after Fight Club and Seven and Panic Room. It's right up there though. It's like number 4th ranked for me. Really good movie. I'm actually going to watch that with my daughter too. Hopefully in a couple of weeks here. We have a lot of movies to watch now. I like slow movies as long as I feel like there's some story there. With Nosferatu, I didn't see story. I just saw a lot of visual tapestry that looked nice, but ultimately, what are we doing here? The characters didn't really have any dimension. There wasn't really any growth in the characters over the course of the film. there wasn't any scares in the movie. There wasn't really any highs and lows or emotions for me. It was all just kind of like a flat film that lulled me to sleep. I'm glad you liked it. There's a lot of people that like it. Not in person that I've met, but there's a lot of people online that like it. Chris McSquad for 199. Solid stream tonight. Thanks, man. Thanks, Chris. Maybe I should just do more casual Q&As talking to you guys. It seems to be what people enjoy. Maybe I'll do these after I do my movie news in the future. Mr. Flickster for $5. Any advice for someone trying to get his YouTube channel off the ground, but life keeps getting in the way? Ugh, don't even try. Quit. Forget about it. It's not going to happen, Mr. Flickster. No, just give me a second. Mr. Flickster, I've seen you around the channel. You know me by now. And if you've been around this channel for as long as I think you have, you should know that it's not been easy for me to get the channel off the ground. And it's gone through 3 different channel names, I believe. The show was originally called, the channel was Movie Feuds. And then it was Feud Nation, because I was going to really go all in on the feud thing and not just cover movies, but sports and music and fast food and just pit everything head to head, and botched it completely. And then it became Adam Does Movies. And even after that rebrand, I had all these different shows, and it was just a clusterfuck. So I really didn't start this channel in a proper way until, I would say, 3 years ago is when the channel really kind of has come into its real origin story. And that's after having 2 kids, moving like 5 or 6 times, maybe more than that. Honestly, it's more than that. I've moved like 8 or 9 times since starting the channel. Having multiple different careers. So to get it onto you, everything's going to get in the way all the time. You are going to have to make time for it when you don't want to. There will never be a moment, at least there hasn't been for me, where I was like, oh man, I can't wait to turn the camera on and spend hours filming, recording, editing, posting, making thumbnails, making descriptions, making titles, and then competing with like a billion other dipshits online for people's attention. It's not an easy thing to want to do. And then you have the people that are like, well, you can't make good money doing it, and it's not a real job. And to be fair, there's merit in what they're saying. You're not going to make good money doing it for a very long time. And it's not a real job in the sense that you're not going to make good money for a very long time. Is it work though? Oh yeah. For me, it's a second job. It takes just as much time as my real job does. We are at almost 11 o'clock, and I've been talking now for an hour and 22 minutes while my wife is upstairs laying in bed eating some chips, watching Friends. That sounds fucking amazing to me. That sounds amazing. But if you love doing it, if it's something you're passionate about, then just freaking go and do it. I'm talking to this, I should be talking to you. Just go and do it. There's no good time, okay? I did the channel throughout my kids growing up when there was pockets of time to do it. Whether it's 11 o'clock at night, you start filming for the first time, or you find yourself having a half-hour lunch break that you can squeeze a video in. That's just the dedication you have to put in, because you are competing against so many other people like me that are hungry to grow their channels. We are your competition. Eventually, we can be your friends when we're all kind of evened out. But that's because we're trying to still grow our own shit and get in front of people. Hope that helps. And I hope that was not a deterrent. Modest Mike says, I'm not donating money to this ass hate. I don't know who you're referring to, but if you guys can find an ass hate that's in the comments, let me know and I will ban him. Modest Mike is on the hunt. He didn't give a specific name, but if you find an ass hate, I'll take him down. Thank you, Mike, for bringing that to my attention. You hit the goal, says I like screaming ice cream. I did. We hit the goal. You're the best, Adam. Thanks, Michael. No, I'm the best. Oh, wait, that's what you said. Thank you, Michael. You're the best. Gaming with Glees. Do you watch Silo or From by any chance? I do not, but Silo has my girl in it, Rebecca Ferguson, I believe. I love her. I think she's great. I love her. I think she's great. But no, I haven't watched it. Again, it's or is yeah, I think Silo's with her, or is it Zoe Saldana? One of them's in that. I haven't even heard of From. I'm out of the loop. TV series that I'm watching currently: Friends repeats with my wife at night, followed by going to sleep to American Dad reruns. The cartoons kind of get us, they lull us to sleep. It must be Seth MacFarlane's beautiful baritone voice. Other TV shows, I finished the Penguin. Daredevil will probably be the next one I make priority. I'm not watching anything else. I watched The Bear season 3. I thought that was incredibly underwhelming after 2 really good seasons. Chris says, "Hey, don't forget Olivia. She's getting close to 700." Yes, Olivia, my daughter, on Being Real with Olivia, REEL, is close to 700 subs. She was a little down today. She lost a few overnight, and I told her that's absolutely common. You're going to lose subs. It's going to ebb and flow. One day you'll be sitting high as a hog because you'll gain 5 or 6, and then you might lose 10 the next day. You just don't know, kid. Keep your head up. You're only 15. You're just getting started. I didn't have 700 subscribers until like my freaking 4th year on YouTube or something. It's a hard business, but she has an old man here that can prop her up from time to time and get some more subs her way. But I also want her to, grow on her own a little bit and find more of a organic audience of people probably closer to her age that can relate to her more, and they have similar experiences to seeing movies for the first time. I'm incredibly proud of her. She's put in a lot of work. Editing is the slowest process ever, and she's full of energy and life and has a lot to say, so she rambles. If you think I ramble, I'm nothing compared to her. So she's got to edit her stuff down. But no, she's having a good time, and I'm I'm happy for her. Scott Sullivan, I like Scott. Scott, how's it going, man? I see you from time to time. I can never say this word though. The anonymity, I think is how you say it, of the internet brings out the worst in people. Being anonymous, Scott says. Scott, I used to think that, but I think people just don't care anymore. I know neighbors down the road that are just kind of trash bags, and thankfully I don't have Facebook. If I have an account on Facebook that's still actually going, I haven't been running it in many years. I've been locked out of my Facebook account for a long time, and I can't get it back. There's just no way to get it back. Facebook's great, really good service over there. But no, my wife is on it, and the things that people say with their real names, the vile they spit out. I remember years ago, the last time I actually was active on Facebook was probably, Jesus, 13 years ago. And a person I knew from high school was saying some just crappy thing, just generalizing people. And I remember commenting to him, and like instantly 3 or 4 other people that I kind of knew from high school, not really though, just dogpiled on me. They were threatening me. I'm like, who the fuck? What is going on? First off, I'm not small, and the guys that were saying this to me, I think I probably could have killed all 3 of them at once, but still, I just could not believe it. And yeah, that just shows that the whole anonymous side of things, while yeah, that's true, people also don't have a problem just showing you who they are now, their true colors. Is it Stavy? I don't know. Stavy, any update on the blue bag? Yeah, that's a live stream classic. Last year, the blue bag, my neighbor had one outside of his house. It was the bane of my existence. I documented it for months. To the best of my knowledge, the bag has been eliminated. I believe it's gone. We had several hurricanes that came through here. It did make it through the first one. I remember driving by after selling that house, the slow pass, and I saw it just waving in the breeze, tattered up, and I thought he's going to get rid of that. The next day I drove by, he repaired it. He stapled the blue bag. It became stronger than ever. It was a Frankenstein bag, to be sure, but it was gone after that. There was another hurricane that came through. It eliminated it. I'd like to think Mother Nature intervened on this one. And so I can thankfully say it's out of my life forever till I move and find another one. Watso Paz MD. Is there a film darker than Predator Requiem? Yeah, that movie is almost unwatchable. Well, it's unwatchable for many reasons. It's just terrible, but yeah, that thing is so impossibly dark to see. The Superman stream he did on Cecil's channel was was a ton of fun. Thanks, Alex. I saw a comment on there after the fact that was not thrilled with me. They're like, I liked all the panelists except for Adam. He just kept making jokes and derailing the conversation. Yeah, I joke. I provide some levity. They were talking about the nerdiest shit ever, like issue 4 of Superman back in 1975, and I got nothing else to bring to the table. But I was invited on as a panelist, so you better believe I'm going to bring it regardless. Cecil also has been on here several times, and we joke with each other. He's constantly interjecting and joking with me. So I asked him afterwards, actually, because I felt bad. I'm like, hey, was I cutting you off for being rude and joking too much? It's like, no, what are you talking about? This is what we do. So I'm glad you liked it, Alex. Hopefully others did as well. Crossfire, you get caught in the crossfire. That commercial was awesome. Michael says Chum should review old movies like from the 80s Tron. Well, Chum, I am doing older reviews on Patreon. That's where you're going to find those. I will not be reviewing older movies on this channel or classics on this channel. I'm not Chris Stuckman. I don't have Chris Stuckman numbers. If I review old movies, they will tank. That's one of the reasons I got rid of the tier where you could pay me to review a movie, because people were recommending classic films that I'd never even heard of from the 70s and 80s, or just nostalgic films that are great, but they actually hurt the channel in the algorithm. YouTube doesn't know how to categorize me anymore. Right now, they're like, oh, he covers modern films. He's relevant. But if I start throwing in Jet Li's The One review, as cool as it would be to review that ridiculous film, it's just going to hurt the numbers. And also, if videos start performing bad on YouTube, if that becomes a trend, your channel gets pushed less in the algorithm. So one bump once in a while, like one little hiccup here or there, if it's like a 50% drop compared to the other videos, that's not going to do anything. But if you have a couple 50% drops in a row, or if it becomes a pattern, then yes, you will get dented a lot in the algorithm. I know this because it happened to me a couple years ago when I was doing all these different types of shows. My regular reviews appealed to some people. The cringe show appealed to a bunch of other people. Then I had rants that weren't movie related. And so all these different pockets of videos, while they did have people that enjoyed them, others did not, so they didn't watch. And yeah, it's just a bad situation. YouTube doesn't know how to categorize things. What do you think is the best horror movie kill of all time? Um, Kill. You know, the person didn't even die in this movie, but I always got super like cringed out, and I think it was Saw 2 when Jigsaw throws who would be his accomplice later on into that thing of needles, that whole giant box of the pit of needles. When he throws her in that, I was totally grossed out, creeped out by that. She didn't die though. And that might be even more torturous. As far as like straight up kills, Terrifier's had some pretty brutal ones lately. Oof, what else? The scene in Maxine where she crushes the dude's balls was absolutely gut wrenching. You know what? The worst kill of all time that will live in my mind forever was not even from a horror movie in a traditional sense, although you could argue it is a horror film. American History X. When they tell the dude to bite the curb and he opens his mouth and puts it on the side of the curb and the guy freaking smashes down on the back of his head and you hear those teeth all shatter. Oh my god, that was disturbing as shit. And that might be the most I think that is the most disturbing thing I've ever felt in a movie because it was just so raw. You know, there's tons of movies with kills that are just completely over the top and silly, but it's when they feel so personal and so impactful that's when it really gets creepy and disturbing. Good question. I like Trap doesn't mean I'm gonna hate people who didn't or people who didn't have to hate me for liking it. Yeah, no. Listen, there's plenty of M Night movies that a good buddy of mine absolutely hates Signs, and he had this whole like book report that he showed me about it. And he's like, "All right, this is the problem I have with Signs." He's like reading through all of his notes of hate. He's like, "Explain yourself." I'm like, I like the movie. I don't care about any of that. I still like the movie. The aliens, you know, dying from water on a planet that's full of it. That doesn't bother me. It's not about the aliens at the end of the day. That's just the dressing to the actual narrative, which is coping with the loss of a loved one and how you're going to rebuild and find your faith again and all that stuff. That was all cool, I thought. So yeah, I don't care. Like Trap is certainly a fun, entertaining movie. I just found it really stupid. Please ban I Like Scream and Ice Cream. Nobody can like Trap. Trigatron, if you want a mercy ban so you don't have to hear the praise for Trap, we can do that. We can throw out a mercy ban if you need it, but he stays. His opinion stays. Oh, this is a good idea. I'd like to hear his top 10 lists on movie studios Disney, Paramount, A24, Blumhouse, etc. Wait, ET? I don't even know what that is. Maybe you meant etc. That would be a good top 10. My top 10s have been seeing some decent traction. I should come up with more of those. They're kind of a bitch to edit, you know, because then you have to find movie clips for 10 different things and do the whole like transition and kind of refresh myself on 10 different whatever I'm talking about. But that would be a great idea. Top 10 on movie studios would be fun for maybe later in January here, even. What 100,000 play button? That a gold one? No, that's silver. Come on. Gold is like a million, I think. I don't think there's anything from 100,000 up until a million. You get nothing. I'm pretty sure. It's just silver and gold, and maybe there's a platinum when you get like a kabillion when you're Mr. Beast. No, any plaque that makes me feel like I got a participation award is great. You know what the percentage is? I just looked this up. What percentage of YouTube channels will reach 100K subscribers? The number is wild. According to the Google AI overview, less than 0.7% of YouTube channels have 100,000 subscribers. That's insane. 0.7%. Give me my plaque, damn it. I want to get there. Mark Burns for $4.99. Thank you, Mark. Says, glad your truthful review of Nosferatu. Many are pretending to love it. Appreciate your honesty. Mark, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. I do want to push back on something you said there, and I might do a video on this as well. Just because I did not like the movie does not make my review any more honest than someone else that did like the movie. I disagreed with it, but I can also see why people did like it. That doesn't mean I'm being honest and everyone else is being false or fake. Do I think that some people do pretend to like things they don't? Hell yes, I do. But I also want to be careful when I say that, and maybe I also on occasion will slip into that kind of dialogue where I may be like, oh, people are full of shit and they didn't like this movie. I'm trying to like refrain from doing that as much, or I put a lot of caveats on top of it so I don't discredit my fellow critics who I know are sincere, and I've been on their channels. I don't have an ounce of doubt in my mind that they are sincere when they say they like Nosferatu or don't. On the other hand, yes, there are plenty of fake channels out there that are praising movies, and some have not even seen the movies they're praising, but they heard, like, I had a lot of comments on my review for Nosferatu that bashed me ahead of time and called me out for being a liar or grifting off outrage. But then they say, I haven't seen the movie yet, but everybody else is saying, and that's the kind of stuff that's just absolutely ridiculous. Again, I appreciate it though. I will always be honest about my thoughts on a movie, whether or not it's popular or not. The thing is, I've noticed there's always going to be people that agree with you on the internet. It's a big space. So even as much as a movie is praised or celebrated on the internet, there are a lot of people that don't pay attention to what's trending on TikTok or on Twitter. They're just like folks that maybe spent money and went out to Nosferatu because it looked interesting. They didn't like it, so they instantly jumped on YouTube and searched for someone who had similar thoughts, because people want to hear what they're thinking, or they want to hear from someone that at least they like listening to, that they might disagree with even a lot. I have people that are like that who watch my show. They disagree with me, they claim 90% of the time, which seems like a complete overreach considering I agree with my fellow critics at least 90% of the time over the course of a year. But yeah, there's a little bit of hyperbole there, I suppose. Regardless, yeah, there's always going to be people that agree because there's such a big pool of people. And if I'm one of the only people dying on a hill that's saying something sucks when the majority isn't, yes, my video is going to get more views just because that's the nature of the search results. Jordan for $2.79. What do you think about the James Bond movie delay? Thank you, Jordan. Again, someone else brought up Bond. I haven't really heard. I haven't been following it, so I'm sorry. I don't have any insight or opinion on James Bond other than, I suppose, get it right, figure out your shit, don't rush something out. I still thought Idris Elba would have been a great Bond. He would have been my pick just because the stuff I've seen him in, he was always just oozing charisma, and he had that cool presence to him. Outside of him, Henry Cavill would have been really cool. Although I just don't know if Cavill has the range that Bond I think should have nowadays. I don't know. I guess you could say the same for what's his nuts. Who was the last guy that played him? I'm forgetting his name. Oh my God, what is his name? It feels like it's been so long since we've had a Quantum of Solace. What is James Bond actor? Daniel Craig. Jesus, Daniel Craig. Yeah, Daniel Craig wasn't really the most extreme actor either. So Cavill would have been good, but I think that ship has sailed too. They're gonna go younger. Pretending to just because you didn't like something doesn't mean other people. Yeah, Scott, I addressed it. I addressed it. I think people just, it's Scott. I'm sure you felt this way as well. And I think I've read in the past things similar to that, where you watch a movie and you can't comprehend how someone can watch the same thing you do and either praise it or outright hate it. And I've had several of those movies over the years, like Avatar 2, The Way of Water, where I'm watching it and I'm just going, this is complete ass. It looks beautiful, no question, but everything else is terrible. And this is coming from someone that was fine with Avatar, who owns the movie on Blu-ray. I just thought the second one was horrible, and I couldn't believe the praise it was getting. And I was kind of like that for Nosferatu to a lesser extent. But yeah, people often will, that's just how it is. You watch something, you feel a visceral response, either negatively or positively, and you just kind of imagine, like, how can someone be so optimistic about something that was so utterly dog shit bad in my mind? They have to be lying. They have to be pandering, right? Zodiac is awesome. Never really ends on a conclusive ending. Yeah, that's what I love about it. The ending is chilling when he goes into that shop and he sees that dude. That it's fantastic. I really enjoy that. And the movie's not about Zodiac. That's why the first time I watched it, I was a little down on it, because they marketed the film like it was going to be about the Zodiac killer. But it's not about the Zodiac killer. It's about the people investigating the Zodiac killer and how many lives he has ruined, not just from the people's lives he's taken, but those that have dedicated their careers to trying to find this person. Is good shit. Am I lame for not liking Seven? Oh, be still my beating heart. Why? No, you're fine. You're fine. Alex says Minnesota is a wonderful state. I agree. It is a wonderful state. It's just cold as death itself. And right now it's in the negatives. It's like negative 13 there. And so I'm just happy I'm moving home in the spring so I can at least have a couple months of joy before it all goes away again. Kevin says, I miss talking to you on your live streams a lot, actually. They were good memories, but I just can't do the super chats as often as I want to help you. I understand, though. Kevin, I appreciate it. I enjoy talking to you guys as well. I'm not reading super chats right now. I'm just reading, comments. It's 11:19. Let's wrap this in about 10 minutes. All right. What do we say? 10 more minutes. I'll go. and the last 5 minutes will be dedicated, or the last, whatever, few minutes will be dedicated to reading super chats that I missed. But for right now, I'll just kind of go through and read what I see stick out to me. Minnesota is awful. We should sell it to Canada. It's got the Mall of America. Come on. How do I purchase one of your pillow merch? Watso, you go to my merch store. Did I get rid of those? I might have got rid of the Adam Does Movies. Oh, yeah. So those pillows up there. What the fuck? Something else just dropped as I grabbed that. I have all these things up here to block the windows and the light coming in. This is actually the old Adam Does Movies logo. It's got the little movie pop cup that I designed. I went with something, it's more generic, the new Adam Does Movies logo. It's not quite as, I guess customized, but I like the new one better. It's simpler, easier to put on shirts and whatnot. So I don't know if I have the pillow version yet on the store. I'm not putting that back. It's a house of cards up there. It'll probably all fall down. But I should get new pillows up there. Let me check. You know what? Let me check right now. Just give me a second. I do not have pillows up there, so I should make them. I should make them and get those up. But there are some awesome shirts that I did custom design. I don't know if there's a way to pin that to the top, but yeah. You can find it's just what is it? Adam Does Movies. It's at Creator Spring. It's at Spring Tea. That's where the store is. Okay. You look great for having 2 kids. What's your secret? Well, I didn't give birth to them. That helps. I didn't have to push them out. That was the key to my success. I made the wife do that. Sucker. Appreciate it. There's no secret. I don't know. I work out every day and I don't drink alcohol and I don't smoke. Those might help. Super chat here from Champion for $2. You also have to be handsome and well off. Go Adam. I don't know what that's referring to, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. These are nicer comments than Tony's going to get on his next video at Hack the Movies. Tony was on here a week or so back. We did Golden Globe predictions, and I destroyed him. And I don't ever do these prediction things ever, but I think I got like 8 of them right out of the 12 predictions we did or something. It was pretty impressive how I was able to kind of weasel myself into a victory. I think he got 1 or 2. Anyway, the loser has to read off a prepared speech on their channel. Tony will be reading off a speech I wrote him, I think Wednesday. It's a good speech. I'm very happy about it. What? Why is Olivia watching the video still? Are you serious? What? Oh no. Why are you letting your daughter watch my live stream at 11:24 p.m.? Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I just ruined a surprise for my daughter. Olivia, she's got a YouTube channel, Being Real with Olivia, and so I designed her a T-shirt with her like with a new logo, and we were going to surprise her with it for her birthday as one of her presents. But apparently, she's up at 11:25 on a school night watching this live stream, which they never ever do ever. So I'm not going to take the blame on this. That's bad parenting on the part of my wife. That's not on me. But anyway, it is 11:25. We should probably wrap it up. Let's see what else we have here quickly. One more from Champion, $2. Are you happy that we're not going to talk about him? We're not doing political stuff. I appreciate it, Champion, but we are not doing politics. Michael, whatever happened to the movie this chum was working on, the script? I finished it. I did a pitch deck. I have to revise the pitch deck. I have to clean up some of my script. And I also started work on a second script for a TV pilot. So nothing has happened yet. I'm still working on it. I'm still toiling, but things have taken a shift in terms of priority. And right now the priority is growing the YouTube channel, growing the Patreon, and the movie stuff will just have to wait for a little while longer, unfortunately. Uh, Champion again. I thought Mufasa was fun because I knew what to expect. I mean, it was an origin story. I guess you knew what to expect because you knew where it was going to end up going. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I didn't see it. I have no interest in watching it. Maybe when it hits Disney Plus, I'll give it a view, but I just don't see it happening. Dead Girls for $5. Thank you, Dead Girls. Keep up the good work. Your videos are hilarious. What Universal monster is your favorite? Um, I kind of like the Invisible Man, mainly because I thought the reboot was really good and it went a different route. And that's just kind of disturbing to me. You know, this dude that you can't see, that's just present all the time. That was my favorite part of Wolfman, actually. Were the scenes where he was in pitch darkness and he could see everything, and he was right next to people, and they had no idea he was there. That was very unnerving. And yeah, that's good stuff. Is the Mummy considered a classic monster from the Universal monsters? I think it is. I love the Mummy too. I think the Mummy movies are fun. The new one was terrible, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would say I have a favorite Universal monster. I definitely would like to see another attempt at the creature from the Black Lagoon. That movie's incredibly old and dated and kind of silly at the end of the day, but I thought the creature design was fantastic. And I'm honestly shocked they haven't done a newer version of that yet. I'm incredibly excited to see what this new Frankenstein turns out to be by Guillermo del Toro. I'm excited, yeah. But I would go with Invisible Man for now. Okay, I think that's it. Tony, I appreciate your super chat, but I'm not gonna read off you wanting to put a hit out on people. I don't know what that means. Um, I think that'll be good. I'm gonna end there. Thank you guys so much for all the super chats we got. I think the Q&A format is definitely fun and helping with these live streams. So let's plan on doing this again, where I'll cover the movie news side of things on Mondays, and then maybe we just shoot the shit for a half hour, an hour, and I'll answer questions, and we can just get down to business. All right, I'm going to call it. I probably have a disappointed wife and daughter, but in actuality, it's on them, right? It's truly on them. It's way too late for them to be up. I'm working here. I'm working here. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.